And I think we are live. Let's see if we get it posted up here on Facebook. Yay! Okay, I'm a couple of minutes early. I'm going to give it some time for people to get on. While I pull this up on Facebook so that I can see my Facebook chatters. Hey, Marianne. It's giveaway day. Let's see. Don't want my display to turn off. There we go. Got that. Now I need to find it on Facebook so I can see my chatters. And I found it. And had to turn it down though. I always forget that. Okay. Hey Judy. Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for that sound check, Marianne. Appreciate it. Hey Louise. Hey Leslie. Carol, Debbie, Sue. I'm just a second early. I'm still setting up a couple of things. Make sure I've got I lost my Rafflecopter page. I need that. Oh, there it is. Okay. Maybe that's an extra page. Okay. Let me get rid of that. And there was one more thing that I needed. Okay, that's that one. I got too many pages. Let's play the intro and we will get started, guys. Oh, Judy, I'm so sorry that you're sick. I hate to hear that. I hope you get well soon. Hi, Lynn. Okay. We are going to be designing a step card. As usual on Fridays, this is a Freebie Friday file. So if you don't want to learn to design or you don't want to design, you can find this file in the Cricut community by searching Crafting with April. And I'll show you guys how to do that. But before we do that, we are on our Freebie Friday for the 22nd. We have 3 more lives this month, Monday, Thursday, and Friday. And I hope you guys will join us for those. Make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on your notifications. Thank you to all my Patreon supporters, my Ko-fi supporters, and my YouTube channel memberships. I greatly appreciate you guys, and of course my moderators. I couldn't do this without you guys. Greatly appreciate you all. Today is the giveaway. It is too late to enter. If you have not entered, you had all month to do so, but it closed earlier today and it is final. I will be doing the drawing live. I cannot show you the actual draw, but I will screenshot it because I don't want to reveal anybody's emails or personal information. But I will be drawing them as we go into the live at random times. We will be starting with the $50 and working our way up to the large $200. So our first winner will be 50, our second winner 100, our third winner will be 150, and our fourth winner will get a $200 Cricut.com shopping spree. And you will get notified via email, but as always, please contact me on Messenger if you are a winner so that I can get your information a little bit quicker. You must be a USA or Canada resident. If you are not and you entered, it would be disqualified. All right, and so I'm going to be doing an egg hunt today. I'm going to be hunting those Easter eggs you guys hid in the groups for me there. All right, so how do you find today's file if you don't want to create it? You're going to come up here where it says Search Images, Projects, and Profiles. This is where you're going to search, and you'll search Crafting with April and hit your Enter or Search. And then it's going to pull up several files. And you may not see it right there, but if you scroll down to the bottom, hopefully they'll move this button up to the top for you guys. Just click on the button down here at the bottom, and that will bring up all of the projects that I have shared, and you'll see 2 of them in there. They do look identical, but if you notice, this one's got some dots behind it. This is the one that is set up for foil. If you're on a device, a mobile device that doesn't use a foiling tool or doesn't have the foiling feature, you won't be able to open that one. So this one is identical, but it's set up for the pen to draw, and all of our devices will do that. So that is why there is 2 of those in there. That way you don't have to go in if you want to do a foiling, and you don't have to go in and change all of that. I've already done it for you. Okay, so that's where you'll find that. Now, if you want to create, you're going to come up here to the top right because they've moved our new project button, and it's right here at the top right. And we're going to click on that, and it's going to take us right over to the canvas. And this is called a center step card. I'm going to go to the overhead and show it to you guys before we get started so that when you're designing it will make a little bit more sense as to what we're doing if you have a little bit of a visual on that. So this is what we call a center step card, and it's done because there are steps in it, okay? And that's going to allow you to be able to do some fun things. You don't have to do this where you have the floating butterflies or whatever. You don't have to do that. It's an added element. But if you want to, it's a lot of fun. You can put wobbles on there. Lots of things. You can even do belly bands for these cards. So you just have to keep in mind that sizing can be funny on these, but you can move your step over to the right, over to the left. You can do different things once you learn how to do a step card. So I'm going to walk you through that, and we're going to create the base. And you can add any pretties you want to add to it without it being the ones like mine right here. And what I call the pretties are all the line drawings, Live Life in Full Bloom, and To the Graduate. You can change this out to whatever you want it to be. Okay, super easy and simple. All right, so to get started, the first thing that we're going to do is, oops, I didn't show you guys that. I thought I switched over and I didn't. So here is what the pretty one looks like. These are my pretties, okay? And you'll be able to do your own file, or you can replace it in that file just by doing a save as, and it won't mess up the file that is there. So the first thing you're going to do, hey Linda, is to start this card, you're going to start with a basic shape, and you're going to get a square. And this is where we're going to set up our card base. Now I am going to change my canvas color just to make this easier for you guys to see. If you don't know how to do that, down here bottom right, blank canvas, come up to the top where it says color, and then you can select a color for the canvas. And then I am going to make this card that we're working with white, just the base. This is the pink part of the card, but white's just going to show up a little bit better for you guys on camera for you to see it, especially when we start adding those score lines in. So the first thing we want to do, this is a 5x7 card. We want to set up our base. And with step cards like this one, it depends on how you want yours to look. Personally, I think the orientation should be 7 inches wide and 5 inches high. It just makes for a better overall look, but you can rotate it if you want. Hey, Melissa. So you're going to get your square and you're going to unlock it. And again, 7 inches wide on this one. So that's going to make a 5 by 7 card. So we need to double that because we're going to fold it in half. So we need to make that height 10 inches. And then we can lock that back. And I'm just going to move this as usual because we're going to be adding score lines and stuff to the 0, 0 position so that we get that in the right spot. Now with a step card, you have to determine how wide you want the sides and how wide you want the center. I like the center to be slightly wider than the sides, and the easiest way to do this is to divide it into either thirds or give your center just a little bit larger, which is what I like. So it's 7 inches. If we do a 2.5 inch center, that's going to leave us 4.5 inches left over. Is that correct? So let's see. Let me pull up my calculator just so I can make sure. So if we have 7 inches in width and we want the center to be 2.5, we're minus 2.5. And that's going to give us 4.5 inches for each side. So we would divide that by 2. Again, designing requires a little bit of math, but this one's not difficult. Some of them can get difficult. This one's pretty easy. Okay. So we know that we want 2.25 inches on each side. So the first thing that we're going to do is get our score line right here. And we're going to rotate that 90 degrees. And it comes in at 2.5 inches, so we don't have to really do anything to it. Okay? Super easy and simple. Then we're going to duplicate that because we've got several steps in there and we need to determine how big you want those steps. I'm just going to duplicate it a few times. We may have to duplicate it again. Now, I like mine to be about 1 inch from the bottom. I think that's where I might have done 1.25 inches. Let me double check while I have this one up. Detach. And I'm coming in here just to double check on my scores. And that is on, let's see. I think I did it 1 inch from the base. Let me do it the easy way instead of having to detach everything and check it. Let me just grab a square. Yeah, 1 inch. I did 1 inch from the bottom. So 1 inch from the bottom. So we know that this is 10 inches long, so that's going to need to be on the 9-inch line, and that's where it hits. And this position, because we said we wanted the side to be 2.25 inches, we'll need to make that 2.25. That's going to be the position where that score line lives. Okay? And an easier way to do it, if you have it on the 9-inch line, is just select that bottom one and the left, and then you can align it and center it horizontally. And that's still going to give you 2.25 inches on each side. Okay? Super easy and simple. The next one, I believe that I put that one at 2.25. I'm just going to double check that 2.25. And it would be on the, if this one is on the 9, this one is going to be on the 6.75. And that's going to give me 2.25 inches right here. Okay. And I'm going to just, again, double check my steps that I have here because I don't want to tell you guys a story. That is 2.25 right there. So nope, see, this piece was 2.25. And it does take some time to figure out and get these lined up to do your steps and get them 1.5 inches. So that would make that from the 9-inch, take 8, be 7.5 inches. It would be at the 7.5 inch mark. I'm not going to worry about this position because I'm going to align them vertically here in just a minute. So then we have our next one, and the next one is really easy. That's going to be 5 inches wide because that is going to be the middle of our card. Okay? Oops, 7 inches wide. Sorry. And that's going to go to the center. So I'm just going to select these two for right now, and I'm going to align, and I'm going to center it horizontally and group it. That way those lines don't move. And I'm going to arrange and send this to the back. And then we're just going to align this one to the center, which would be 0 and 5, because half of our width, our length, is 5 inches. So we're going to put that on the 5-inch mark. And now we have to have another score going up from there. And I believe that's where my 2 1/4 was. But I'm going to double check it with my other window here, if I can find it. I lost it. I lost my design space. There it is. Okay, so right here, this one, and I made this from an old file that I had already tested, so that's why I don't remember any of these. That one is going to be 2.5. 2.5 inches up. So I'm just going to come in and duplicate this line again because that's going to be the same. So if this is 5 inches, then we're going to make that at 2.75. Nope. That's not right. 2.5 inches. That's 5 inches right there, so it would be on the 2.5 inch line. 2.5. And again, 2.25 to make it center. Then we have all of our lines on there. You can attach those if you want, but I'm not going to because we need to add some cut lines. So the cut lines you need, when you're folding this card, you're going to fold it in a way. You need cut lines to connect these. But you need it to come past this one just slightly. And I think I come 1 inch past mine. That's what it looks like. That's what we're going with. I come 1 inch past my last score line. Otherwise, it's not going to stand properly. Hi, Swirly. Hi, Ann. And you'll see when we go to fold why I say that you need it to go past that last score line. Because with a step, if you don't give it that cut area, it just won't stand properly. And you need that little bit of give to help you fold that score. Okay? So now we're going to take that score line and we're going to duplicate it. And we're going to rotate that back to 0. We're going to change that to a cut line in the operation type. And I can't stretch it like I want. So I'm going to flip it because they changed this. I'm just going to flip this vertically because I want my stretch line to be at the top. And I'm going to unlock it. Well, you don't really have to unlock it. It doesn't really matter. You can leave it locked. But I want to stretch that about 1 inch past. I'm going to bring that down to the very bottom here. I'm just going to keep stretching it, and I want it to go about 1 inch past. So if this is on the 2.5, then I want this to start at the 1.5. Oh, I hit it dead on. I couldn't do that again if I tried. And it came out 7.5 inches. So you know that you've got it right. Now, if it's showing that it's off like 2.625, something like that, then you'll know. But right at, or 7.528, you just need to make it 7.5. And that should take it to the base of this line and 1 inch past this line. Okay? Super easy. Then you're just going to duplicate it. This one needs to be on the 2.25 position, and it is, and at the 1.5, because this score line is at 2.5. This needs to be at 1.5. Then this one, same thing, but you're going to bring it all the way to this one. 2.25 is the left side, plus 2.5, that's 4.75. That's where this line needs to be. 4.75. And again at the 1.5. Once you have all of those lines laid out, you can select it all and attach. Okay, now you've got your base laid out. Now you need to make panels, and this is really where the tricky part comes in. Guys, I'm going to pop overhead and show you because you cut them differently. And what I did is I just cut some test scraps just to make sure that mine were going to fit properly before I made my panels. So let me show you how I did that. So I just came in and I cut some, you can see I cut some scrap strips. They've got tears and everything else in them. And I changed the height. When this card is closed, I don't want this to be sitting all the way at the bottom into that fold, because I want it to fold as flat as possible. I don't want that bulk in the fold. So I made it a 1/4 inch shorter than what my card was. And that's going to bring it in, and when we place it in, it's going to bring that panel up to the top of the card, but not quite at the bottom. So I took a 1/4 inch off the height. Okay, and we know that the card center is 2.5 wide. So since I took a 1/4 off the height, I took a 1/4 off the sides of the center. So we're going to be making this center panel, which is this piece, our gray piece right here. We're going to be making that 2.25 by 4.75. Okay. And that just comes from experience. You can play. You may want to make yours 5 inches and not take that 1/4 inch off of it. You can absolutely do that. Okay. So let's pop back over. And we're just going to grab an... Oops. Go over. There we go. We're just going to grab our shapes again. We're going to grab a square. And we're using all free shapes on this, guys. And this is our light gray piece. It's going to let me change the color here. Light gray, you could do silver, lots of stuff you can do. You can change these out to any color. So this one would be unlocked and go to 2.25, 1/4 inch smaller than the center, and to 4.75. A 1/4 inch shorter than the card base. Oops, get in there 4. And then we can lock that. I did you can duplicate it if you want and do your insert a 1/4 inch smaller and make that a 2 by 4.5. And I'm just going to change that to the white. And that's going to give you that center panel. Just going to duplicate the gray one again. And I'm going to unlock it. I know that I want my width to be 2.25, but now I have to determine the height. And if you make it the same height as this piece right here, it's not going to stick up when you fold it, because it's going to go down into another fold. And that's the trick with step cards. You have to make sure that these panels are tall enough for them to be seen when the card is folded. Now you can go as high as you want or as low as you want on this. If you want it to fit in there just above that, you can do that. But I liked mine a little bit bigger, and this came out to about 2.5, I think. Yeah, 2.5 inches. So I think that I made that, I'm going to double check it. If I can get my card to open up here. I made that 2¼ inches, okay? Because it's going to come up 1/4 inch. So 2.25. And again, if you want yours to be taller than that, you can make it taller than that. That is the width. And I also made that the height. I just made that an absolute square rather than a rectangle. And then duplicate it again. Make it 1/4 inch smaller. So we're just going to make that 2 inches. And we're going to change that to the white. Okay, and then you have this 1 inch piece here. So I'm just going to duplicate that gray again. This panel does not get anything. This is where your sentiment is going to go. And it is 1 inch. We know that from putting our score line at the 1 inch mark there. So I just made that 0.75 in height. And I kept it at the 2.25 in width so that it was cohesive with the rest of it, I think. I might have made it bigger. Let's see, did I make it bigger? No, that's what I left it at, 2.25. All right, so then you have your sentiment piece, and I made 2 of these. And you can see, actually, I did make that one a little bit bigger. I must have bumped that by accident. Oh, I know I didn't. I did it because of the sentiment was large. So it's just 0.5. It probably isn't even going to make a difference. But if you want to do that, you can. When you put your sentiment on, you can bump it up if you need to. So I'm just going to duplicate it. I'm going to change that to white. And we're going to make that 2 inches by 1/2. And you can see that I did stretch it because I just didn't like that big area for my sentiment. So if you want to stretch yours out, you can. Sentiment doesn't have to be exact to it. So that gives you that panel. Now we need some panels for the sides. We know that that's 5 inches in height when it's folded and 2 1/4. So basically you're just going to build that off of that piece. And we're just going to resize that to 1.75, nope, 2 inches by 4 1/2. Just taking another 1/4 inch off of it. Is that right? Did I do that? No, it's 4.75. And taking off the side, that's what we're doing, to 2 inches. 2 by 4 1/4. We're taking off 1/4 inch on the sides and the bottom. Then you can simply duplicate that for the other side to give you that one. And the same here with this white one here. We're just going to duplicate that. We're going to take that down just on the width to 1.75. And we're going to lock that back. And duplicate it. And that completes the panels for that. Now, on this card, because I did a panel, I did 2 panels, because one goes on the inside of this fold for the inside of the card. And I also did a secondary panel for the inside. And the reason I did this is because this is a graduation card. And a lot of times we like to use a black base or a dark navy blue base or a red base. And sometimes our writing doesn't show up on those. So I wanted to give it a sentiment panel that I could write on to go on to the inside of the card. Okay, so to do that, it's a little tricky, but you can do it. I grabbed this piece here in the back, my gray square panel from the back, and duplicated it. Now we're going to change this canvas back to white so that you guys can see this. This is where, I'm just going to slide these out of the way. This is where this will be going. Well, I can't get it to pick up just one. It's freezing up on me. I don't know what that is. Let's just start over. Okay, let me duplicate that again. For whatever reason, it didn't want to move that. So I have this one here, and I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to bring this one over here, and then I'm going to duplicate it again, and I'm going to rotate that one 90 degrees. Okay? Because I know that this is the size of the width, I don't need to redo those. And I do need to unlock this one that I rotated and narrow that down. And I'm not paying attention to lining up or anything. I just want it to be shorter than my cut line. Then I'm going to select that one. I'm going to select this one, and we're going to align to the top. Okay, and I want to make sure that I've got that centered in between, and I'm just judging the space between the two to get it as even as I possibly can. And then I'm going to select all three, align top, and I'm going to align center horizontally. Oops, nope, I'm not. I did that wrong. I forgot to group. Undo. I'm going to select just these two and group them. And then we're going to select these two, align, top, center horizontally, and then weld it. And that's going to give you this piece. But then if you're going to write on it, you need to flip it. Okay. Flip it vertical, please. Thank you. There we go. Now this is the area that you can write in. If you're not going to use this panel, and you're going to be writing on the inside of just this piece, and you don't want to use this piece, you can just flip this piece vertical. And then this would be your writing area, your sentiment area, right here. That's where this piece is going to live. Okay. So that is just the card base. Right, you always want to give some space for your card to write on it somewhere. And if you use like a black base, then you're stuck with using either a silver metallic or a glitter gel pen. And there's nothing wrong with that, but sometimes they don't show up well enough for us. So that if you've got those really dark bases, you really want something to write on. Now I use pink on this one. And this is the piece that we designed that I use the pink on, just so nobody gets confused. Ooh, that's awfully bright. There we go. So that is the piece that we did. That is the base piece that's pink. Then you have all of your panels, and then you have this extra piece to write on. Again, you'll want to flip this base if you're going to be writing directly to the inside of the card. Okay, because this is the inside. If you're using pattern paper and you're not wanting to do that, make sure that you have it flipped the other way. So that especially if you have writing on your pattern paper, this would be the front of the card, this piece right here, and you want it to be cut in the right orientation. Yes, you could use a milky gel on the dark ones, and that gives you an extra 5 colors. So you either have your metallic copper, which those write really wide. The metallic pens from Cricut, they are more like calligraphy pens or markers, so they're kind of thicker. And like Marianne said, you got the milky gel, and that's a gel pen, and I think that, what is that, Marianne, a 0.08 or is it a 1.0? So it's still a little bit wider. So if you want to use those fine tips or those extra fines, you really need that sentiment panel. because myself personally, when I'm writing inside a card, I like to use the more finer pens. I don't know why, I just do. It's just a preference. Yeah, it gives you an extra writing area where you can put the sentiment of the card, and then you can write messages. Or if it's from 2 or 3 people, it gives them a lot of more space for more signatures. Like if you've got brothers, sisters going to sign the card, and mom and dad too. Super easy. Thank you, Louise. It's a 1.0. The Milky Gels are 1.0. If you guys don't have those, grab them. They are fantastic for dark cards, for drawing and everything. So, but they are the Milky Gels on Cricut.com. There's a link down below. Please shop that link. So let's pop over and I'll show you how this card goes together. And again, you'll find this file. I'm not going to save that because I moved some stuff in there and I put that square in there. You'll find it in the Cricut community. One is set up for pen and one is set up for foil. So if one doesn't open for you on a mobile device, open the other one. All right. And let's go overhead. You don't have the milky ones, Kathy? I would grab those next time you're shopping over on Cricut.com because they're awesome. You can see where I did all my playing and writing my measures, and throw that away. Don't need it anymore. So on this one I used ink pens. I have something all over my, I think it's essential oils. I must have spilled a drop and it's going everywhere. It's on the back of my card and everything. Guys, excuse me a second. I'm going to get this off. I don't want it to be on the entire card. I can hide that, but there it is. A little alcohol here. I had my peppermint essential oil out. Yesterday I had a headache and I must have dripped it. I thought I smelled it and I was like, well, where's that coming from? I don't even have the bottle in here. Okay, you're welcome, Judy. So I did this one in pen, so it's going to be just as pretty in pen. You can see that. And then this one I did in foil. And it's gorgeous in the foil. So on the card, and you can do this, yeah, I'm going to fold it this way since I got a little oil. This is my, right down the center. On the center score, I'm just pinching this right now on the scores because these two sides are going to be mountain, and then this center one is going to be a valley. And I'm not scoring them hard yet. I'm just creating a memory for them. So it's going to look something like this. And then this first score line at the base is going to be a mountain fold. And then you're going to do a valley. And see, that's why I say if we don't go an inch past that last score line, it makes it really difficult to get this to fold because you don't have no play in the card. We're going to mountain fold that one. That's the center of our card valley. And then we're going to mountain fold this last one. Okay. And then once you have it done like that, then you can flatten it out and get your bone folder and give it a good press on all of those scores. Super easy folding. Super easy. And that card's going to stand up. Next, just going to build this from the inside and take that inside sentiment. And then we're just going to pop that right inside and get it lined up evenly, not crooked like me. I got mine all out of whack there. There we go. So we're just going to press that down to the inside. And then I did not do a gray panel for this one on the inside because I didn't want that bulk there. And it's totally up to you where you want to put this. And I just liked it right here on that first step. So we just have that one right there. So when they open it up, to the graduate, we are so proud of you. And then of course your signatures. This one is super simple and easy. You can pop dot this up if you want with some foam dots. Totally up to you. And this card will fit in a regular 5x7 envelope. And then after you layered that piece on, you're going to put that right into the center of this piece. I'm just going to center that up. Now you have 3 panels, and I made all these the same, but one is wider. That's going to be your center panel. So you're going to set that to the side. And the same with your gray. 2 are identical and one is wider. Set the wider one to the side. Mine gets gross too, Marianne. It does. All the adhesives and things like that. I use alcohol in my scraper. I just pour alcohol on it and let it sit, and then I use my scraper and scrape it off. Then I use a baby wipe after I get all the goo off. So now we have our 2 side panels, and you can go ahead and glue those on. A messy gluer. I got glue all over my fingers. I love these single line drawing on these flowers because the way I twisted them, they kind of look like butterflies too. And then you can glue this panel on, and again, if you want to pop dot this up, you certainly can. I'm just not doing that today. I just didn't do it on the other one, and it turned out fine too. But I've done them where I did pop dot them up, and that gives them a little bit more dimension. You want to glue this one on last, and that's because if you want to add a butterfly or a flower or anything that appears to be floating, then you need to do that panel last. If you do it now, you'll be going, I need to take it off and do it again. Don't ask me how I know that. You have an alcohol spray bottle. I have a spray bottle, but I have my little pump bottle too. So now this one, you don't want to put glue on the whole base of that. If it helps you, you can do a pencil or you can stick it in there. But I like to just pull it up where it's even at the edge. All I'm doing is flipping this over. This is where it lives on this panel. And that V right there. Okay. And I'm just flipping it over, and then I'm just going to line up on my grid there, and I'm going to pull that forward, if I can get hold of it, because that's where I want that to be. Now you can mark it. I just do a little line with my fingernail on it, and that tells me where my glue needs to go. And I don't want to go up above that. Okay? And that's all I did. I just made a mark with my fingernail to tell me where my glue needed to stop. And then I'm just going to bring it in there, place it right in the middle. Get it lined up. I'm just going to pull it forward. I want it to be even at the top. There we go. Well, it's almost even. I got a little space, maybe about a 1/4 inch up from the bottom. That's good. Now, if you want to do like a floating butterfly or something like that, this is just a scrap of acetate. This is the Cricut foil acetate. I think there's some coating still on there. Yeah. So you want to pull off any of the liner that keeps it from getting scratched. Some people will tell you that this won't cut if you leave that liner on. It most certainly will cut with the liner on there. I do not like to pull the liner off of my acetate and cut it, because that's going to allow it to scratch. And you can see that mine cuts fine. I just pull it right up off of there, and this side still has the coating as well, so that it doesn't get scratched and it's absolutely clear. And all I did was just, this is where I had cut a window out for a window card, and all I did was just snip off the little hanger edge, and that's what I'm using. It's just a scrap. That's all this is. It's just a scrap of acetate. And then I had these. You can cut your butterfly from that too and use alcohol inks or put vinyl on it, whatever. But I have these from, they're Tim Holtz or Ranger, whatever you want to call it, acetate insects, wings, transparent wings. That's what it's called. Transparent wings. You can get them at Amazon, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Joann's. But it's just a pack of everything. And they've got like the half ones. This one's blue. I might put the little blue one on there, just to give it an extra pop of color. I don't know. I like that other one better. I'll set that to the side in case there's not another one like the one I used. That's a little different. I should have picked this guy out before I started. That one's got red on it. Some of them have no color, some have color. That's green. I don't want green. I don't want the green one. Aha, there is another one. So this is the one that I used out of the pack. It has no color to it. And I used just a mini glue dot, okay? And I put that on the end of that acetate strip. And this butterfly has a different color coating on the back. And I just stuck it right to the center of the butterfly. Alright, and this strip, doesn't matter how thick or thin it is, height is what matters here. And you're going to be placing that on this panel right here. So it depends on how tall you want it to be, how floppy you want it to be. I will measure it. That's a little tall, so I'm just going to snip that off. I don't even know how tall. Well, it's about the same height I made the other one. If you want it to be this tall, this is about 4 inches, but I'm going to shorten it just a little bit. I wanted it to be a little bit shorter than I did that one. That's good. So the strip from the center of the butterfly down is 3 inches is what I did this scrap piece as. And then I like to use for this a large glue dot, but you can use the same small one. And I'm just going to stick that kind of in the center of that panel right there. Okay. Then I'm going to take my little butterfly after I put some rhinestones on it. I do a couple of, just to give him some pop of color and to hide my glue dot in the center, because everything was clear. And then I'm just going to place it where I want it to be on that glue dot right there. Alright, and then you can put this panel on or either pop dot it up. It's going to be totally up to you. And again, you don't want to go all the way to the top of this one. And we're just going to go from the inside and squish that down. Just going to give it all a press. And it's done. How cute is that? This one flops a little bit more, but it lands on the back at 4 inches. You can, I don't know if you guys can see that. I mean, it still moves when you've got the card open, but when it's standing, it lays right up against it, and that's at 4 inches. And the acetate cut at 3 inches. It's a little more floppy, and it doesn't sit right on the card itself. So I like the 3-inch better, just in case you guys are wondering. Totally up to you, though. Thank you, Marianne. And it should be in the description of the video as well. You cut it with your coating on too. So I do too, because I don't want it to get scratched while it's laying around on my desk before I'm ready to use it. So I leave the coatings on mine. This is a center step card, Judy. Center step base. So yeah, I'm much happier with this. I wish I had done this one at 3 inches, but I can take it off. I can pull it out of there, I think, and cut it down. I think that I will adjust that one. I like the height of this one better. But you live life in full bloom. Congratulations to the graduate. We are so proud of you. So great grad card. And you can change this out, guys. Take the congratulations and we're so proud of you, all of that out. Change it up for Mother's Day. Lots of stuff you can do with this card. And again, pens or foil. That pink foil was just gorgeous on there, though. Love, love, love. And here's a tip, guys, because it's going to write before it foils. And because I always put my foil on before I get my paper ready, because I don't like to put my foil on while my mat is in the machine. Why that it's backwards like that, I don't know. I have brought it to their attention, but it's really difficult to put your foil on while your mat is in the machine. So if you've got writing and foil, it's kind of wonky. So what I do is I put my foil on my paper, and it's going to tell me to load my foiling tool and my pen, okay, because this part is written in the card. I don't load the pen. I just let it go through the motions and do whatever it's going to do, and then it will foil, then I can remove my foil, then it will cut. I do not unload the mat. I then put the pen in and hit the go button again and let it write, and then I stop it and kick it out because everything else is already done. So if you want to do yours that way, that's, to me, is the easiest way. I don't like to put it in to write that little bit and then have to try to fight and put my foil and get it positioned on all of those pieces while it's in the machine. And if you kick it out, it may not line up. So that's my tip when you're foiling and writing, is just let the writing go through the motions. Once everything is done, hit the go button again with your pen in and let it write last. Okay? So anytime you're foiling and writing, always just let it go through the motions without a pen. You have a, with removing the coating? Yeah. You take it. I don't take mine off. Some people do, Marianne. Some people don't. But I do use more pressure now. When I cut my acetate, I do use more pressure, and I leave my coatings on both sides. The foil only has the coating on one side, but the clear has it on both sides. But I've never had any problem getting it to break loose after. Okay, does anybody have any questions? I know there's a little bit of math to this one, but there is a method to the madness. And you can see it turns out a great card. And again, you can change the width of that. If you want it to be a little bit wider and this to be narrower, all you got to do is just increase those score lines and separate those cut lines just a little bit more. And there are tons of different types of step cards. We may do some other step cards later as well. I'm going to try to do I call them dangle cards, next month with you guys, because we've already got this month laid out. And they use the little spinner things. It's like a spinner card. I will show you. I will make a mock-up and show you guys. The first of next month we'll do some different type cards. So I want you guys to learn how to design so that you can take this and you can use this card base and make any theme you want for any holiday or occasion. Alright, does anybody have any other questions? Any other design space questions? Anything you're having issue with? If not, we're going to do the giveaway. Who's ready to win some shopping sprees? I'm going on an egg hunt. I have, and I'm just going to show you guys, I haven't drawn anything yet, okay? So I am going to be, like I said, we're going to be drawing the 4 winners. We're going to start with a $50 winner, and we're going to go up from there. So no winners have been drawn yet. You guys saw that. Just want you guys to know. But I can't show you after I click this. Oops. Let's see. After I click this button right here, I can't show you because it reveals that winner's email address. I wish it didn't, and it put it in a separate place so that you guys could watch me draw. But it is what it is, right? So we're going to start with a $50 shopping spree, and I'm going to show you their project as well. And it would be in the Cricutmaker projects is where they posted their. I'm gonna grab. I'm going to see if I can screenshot this without grabbing their email here. So that you guys can see that at least. Let me see. Where did it go? I just screenshotted it. There it is. I got so much stuff open on my desktop, you guys would, well, you probably would believe. I'm going to close out Designspace here, and now I want to quit. Not going to save that. You already have it. If I can get it to open here. There we go. So the winner of the $50 shopping spree is Chantal. And Chantal's, let's see, Chantal Marie. I don't see her last name. Maybe Marie is her last name. Chantal Marie. So let me see if I can, I'm going to egg hunt and see if I can find her project really quick. She's in the Cricutmaker projects, so that's where I need to be. This is fun. You didn't enter? Oh no, I wish you had. So much fun. Okay. Okay, I'm going to just slide this over so that you guys can see it. Now, my Facebook looks a little weird from yours, but let's see. Love is an open door from Frozen, her little boy. How cute is that? Okay, Chantal, make sure that you message me. I will be emailing you. You want a $50 Cricut shopping spree, and we'll get your selections and get those out to you. So I'm going to leave that one up there really quick. And we're going to draw for 100. Isn't that the next one? Isn't that what I said, 100? I believe. So now let me grab another winner. And screenshot that without getting her email address. And I am not sure how to say her last name. So I hope I don't slaughter it. Janet Minchek. Janet Minchek. Let's see if we can find her prize or her project. And I'm gonna bring over our giveaway. Yep, this one was for the 100. Janet won the 100. Chantel got the 50. And we're looking for Janet's Easter egg now. Let's see. I think I found it. Yay! And Janet did the pop-up Easter egg basket. That card that we did on the live, that's the one she entered. Congrats, Janet. She won a $100 shopping spree. Awesome. And next, let's do another one. This one is for the 150, I believe. Yep, 150. So let's see. Susie Nelson in the Cricut Maker Projects group. Susie Nelson. See if I can grab hers for you guys. Susie Nelson. Yay, I found it. She did the card too. So $150. She did the card. Let's see her little video. How stinking cute. I still love this card. So Susie won a $150 shopping spree. Alright, so there's the 50, the 100, the 150, and now we're going to get the grand prize winner, $200. Let's see. And that was a duplicate entry, so I have to disqualify that one. Let me draw another winner. And this one is going to be in the Cricut Maker Projects group. Get this over to my let's see, did I got the screenshot? Let me get that over to you guys. Leslie Dowdy, I believe, $200. She has won the grand prize. Let's find her project. And here we are. She did the cross pop up. That was so cute, so pretty. I think Marianne did this card too. Love. Leslie has won our $200. Yay! Awesome. Yay, Leslie's here. Woohoo! Way to go, Leslie. Yay! All right. So you guys who won? Oh yes, Shirley, you did it too. So all of my winners, you will be getting an email from me. I need you to respond to that email. And you can also, if you would, give me your list and message me on Messenger. And it's $200 retail value. So if you have Cricut access, make sure that you're looking at the subtotal of your cart, the subtotal. Okay, and I have to get that in as soon as possible. If you wait until a sale changes, the price could change, so make sure that you get those into me as quickly as possible. And again, anything in that price range on Cricut.com. So Leslie, if you want to do like the tabletop lamp, you can do that most certainly. Anything that you want with your winner amounts. Okay? So congrats, Chantel, Janet, Susie, and Leslie. And guys, if you didn't win, don't give up. We have a new one every month. Got another one coming up May 1st. Okay? I'm going to try to do something with maybe some May flowers type giveaway, because we all love flowers, right? Thank you guys for joining me today. Thank you to my moderators. Thank you to all my supporters. Greatly appreciate you. If you are not a Patreon, Ko-fi, or a YouTube membership subscriber, please consider. It helps me pay for the YouTube channel, cameras, and all of that kind of stuff, the website, and you get access to all my files. So, great deal. And if you subscribe annually, you save 15%. Yeah, I'm going to try to do some flower-based projects next month. Do some fun stuff, some interactive flowers or something. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I got all sorts of stuff going through my mind. All right, so you guys have a wonderful weekend. Be safe, and I will catch you on Monday. Monday, we're doing an infusible ink project with my live for you guys. I think we're going to do a wine bag. So if you want to do that with us, we're going to customize and do something with infusible ink on a wine bag. Alright, I'll catch you guys on Monday. Happy crafting. Congrats again to all our winners.